Behind the Screens, The Secret That Silenced the Bully. Chapter 1. The Invisible Target. Sophie Thompson wasn't the kind of girl who stood out in high school. She didn't care for popularity or parties. Her priority was simple: survive the last year of school and keep her secret life hidden. Every day, she moved through the crowded hallways like a ghost, unnoticed by most. However, there was one person who made sure she never felt invisible: Chloe Mathers, the queen of the school. Chloe was ruthless, and for reasons unknown to Sophie, she'd made her life a living hell for the past 3 years. Chloe's clique, the popular girls, followed her lead, laughing at every mean comment and participating in the daily torment. It was mostly petty stuff: pushing Sophie into lockers, mocking her clothes, or accidentally spilling drinks on her lunch. But what really stung were Chloe's words. "Look at her. I bet she doesn't even have money for decent shoes. What a loser," Chloe sneered one day, making Sophie's stomach twist. She tried to tune it out. She always did. What Chloe and her gang didn't know was that Sophie's quiet exterior hid something much bigger than they could ever imagine. Chapter 2. A Double Life. At home, Sophie's life was vastly different. Her family lived in a modest house, but their financial struggles weren't visible on the surface. Unknown to everyone at school, Sophie's parents had once been wealthy, before a devastating business deal left them with nothing. But instead of letting it break them, they had rebuilt, slowly but steadily. Now, they were on the verge of launching a groundbreaking tech company. And Sophie, as a brilliant coder and tech genius herself, played a key role in the project. Every evening, Sophie would retreat to her bedroom, where she had a powerful computer setup that most high schoolers could only dream of. She had been working with her parents on their tech startup for years, but her involvement was top secret. Their invention, an AI-driven platform, was set to revolutionize how people interacted with technology. In a few months, they would unveil the prototype to investors, and it could be worth millions, if not more. But at school, Sophie kept her head down. No one knew about her skills, her intelligence, or her family's impending success. She wasn't ready for that attention, especially not from people like Chloe. Chapter 3. The Breaking Point. It was a Friday afternoon, and the school was buzzing about an upcoming party Chloe was throwing. As usual, Sophie wasn't invited. No surprises there. But today was different. When Sophie walked into the cafeteria, she felt every eye on her, and not in a good way. Chloe was sitting at the center table, smirking like a cat who'd caught the canary. "Hey, Sophie," Chloe called out sweetly, a fake innocence dripping from her voice. "I heard your dad works as a janitor now. Wow, things really fell apart for your family, huh?" Sophie's face turned red, not from embarrassment, but from anger. Chloe had been snooping again, and while her dad wasn't a janitor, he had taken odd jobs to keep things afloat during tough times. But she wasn't going to give Chloe the satisfaction of a response. She turned to walk away. "Don't ignore me, Sophie," Chloe's voice was sharp. "You think you're better than everyone just because you're smart? Newsflash: no one cares about your grades. You'll be flipping burgers in a year." Sophie kept walking, but inside, something snapped. She had endured enough. Chloe and her friends knew nothing about her life, and they never would, unless Sophie showed them. But could she? She didn't want to stoop to their level. Not yet. Chapter 4. Secrets Start to Unravel. The following week, things escalated. Chloe's bullying was relentless, but now she had a new weapon. She had somehow found out that Sophie's family was rebuilding their wealth, though she didn't know the extent of it. Chloe spread rumors that Sophie's parents were frauds, pretending to be rich again. "Your whole family is just a bunch of fakes," Chloe yelled one day, pushing Sophie into her locker. "Just admit it, Sophie. You're trash like the rest of us." Sophie finally had enough. That night, she logged onto her computer and accessed the company's files. She had created a new AI program that was still in testing stages, but it was powerful enough to do things no one else had ever seen before. As her fingers flew across the keyboard, She hatched a plan. It was risky, but if Chloe wanted to see who Sophie really was, then Sophie was going to make sure she got more than she bargained for. Chapter 5. The Big Reveal. The school year was nearing its end, and with it came the annual talent showcase. Chloe, of course, was signed up to perform a dance routine with her friends. Sophie, on the other hand, had never participated in anything at school, but this year she signed up too, only no one knew what she was planning. The night of the showcase arrived, and the auditorium was packed. Chloe's group took the stage, performing their choreographed dance to roaring applause. Then it was Sophie's turn. She walked onto the stage alone, a single laptop in hand, and the crowd buzzed with confusion. What was she doing? Without saying a word, Sophie connected her laptop to the projector. The screen behind her flickered to life, displaying a sleek interface. Sophie began typing, her fingers moving swiftly, and suddenly the lights in the auditorium dimmed. Gasps filled the room as the AI program Sophie had been developing took over the lighting, sound, and visuals. She spoke into the microphone, her voice calm but commanding. "For years I've been quiet, but tonight I want to show you something I've been working on. This is the future." The AI responded to her voice commands, creating a light show that dazzled the audience. It wasn't just a presentation, it was an immersive experience, and everyone in the room was captivated. When the demo ended, the crowd erupted into applause, completely in awe of what they had just witnessed. But Sophie wasn't done. She turned to Chloe, who was sitting in the front row, her mouth hanging open in shock. "You thought you knew everything about me," Sophie said, her voice cutting through the applause. "But you didn't know this. And by the way, that thing you said about flipping burgers? I'll probably be hiring people like you to do that." The room fell silent for a moment before erupting into laughter and cheers. Chloe's face turned beet red as she shrank in her seat, humiliated for the first time in her life. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. After that night, everything changed. Sophie wasn't invisible anymore. She was the girl who had taken control of her life and her destiny. Chloe stopped bullying her, but not because Sophie had embarrassed her. Chloe was genuinely scared of what Sophie could do. Sophie, however, didn't dwell on revenge. She kept working with her family, and soon enough their tech company was making headlines. By the time graduation rolled around, Sophie's family was back on top, wealthier and more successful than ever. And Sophie herself? She had scholarships from every top university and a future brighter than she'd ever imagined. But more importantly, she learned that standing up for yourself doesn't always mean stooping to your bully's level. Sometimes the best revenge is just being better. Sophie Thompson has always been quiet, blending into the background of her high school while enduring relentless bullying from Chloe, the school's queen bee. What Chloe doesn't know is that Sophie harbors a huge secret, a genius-level talent for technology, and a groundbreaking family project that could change their lives forever. After years of enduring insults and humiliation, Sophie decides to reveal her hidden skills in a way no one expects. As the tables turn, Chloe learns a hard lesson. The girl she thought was powerless holds more influence than anyone imagined. This is a story of standing up, embracing your true self, and proving that real power lies within.